Today we're in Sunderland, ready to meet another family eager to take on the Eat Shop Save Challenge.
Hi, we're the Todd family.
Nicola, what is the main problem you want fixing in the house?
I think we're spending way too much even just on shopping for the size of the family that we are.
Spend a fortune on shopping and it just doesn't seem to last.
On average, you're spending £315 a week on food.
A week. Oh, my.
There's a lot of money in it.
It looks like turning this round could be tough. We're going to help them replace the costly junk with cheap, homemade, healthy food, reduce their huge monthly spend on shopping and find a way for the whole family to get fit.
The Todds have got a serious challenge ahead, but the good news is they're not going to be alone. Over the next 8 weeks, I'll have my team of experts on hand whenever they need them.
On call is fitness guru Tom Pickfield, top chef and nutritionist Dale Pinnock, and cash expert Kate Hardcastle. Over to you, Kate.
I'm concerned that the Todds are not in control of the spending. My #1 priority for today is making sure I put them back in the driving seat where their finances are concerned.
Debt is a major problem for many UK households. The Todds are spending almost 3 times more a week than the average family of 4 on food, and it's a major factor in why they now find themselves in the red.
Over the last couple of years, we have had a baby, bought a house, had Christmases and birthdays and got married in between that. So we've racked up a little bit of debt.
The debt situation, it keeps getting worse rather than better. There's always something you need. It's ongoing all the time.
Kate wants to run the Todds through some figures that highlight they aren't alone in having money worries.
We're going to play the traditional game of higher and lower. Are you up for that?
We are.
Do you think you'll be good at this?
No.
It's worth a try, isn't it?
OK. The average household has more or less than a debt of £2,000 on their credit cards.
I would say more.
I'm going to go less.
Well, the figure actually is
I'm terrible at this game.
£2,638 on average. How does that sit with you guys in terms of where you are?
We are probably sat around that figure or maybe it's a little bit higher.
In fact, Nicola and Jamie's credit card debt is over £3,000.
So that brings me on to my next question. Is the average household debt in the UK, not including mortgages, higher or lower than £10,000?
Definitely higher.
I think higher.
So you agreed on this one, so tell me why.
Ours is probably more.
You're absolutely right. The actual amount hovers around the £15,000 mark. I think a lot of families are living beyond their means.
The Todds' overall household debt is near to £20,000, and that's largely due to their wedding, their daughter Esther being born, and moving house, all within the last couple of years. But Kate thinks there is a telltale sign that this family have now started to lose control.
They're using credit cards not just for big purchases, but for weekly spending. That's a real concerning area for me.
Our cash expert has 2 tips to get the Todds' finances back on track, starting with how they pay off their various debts.
I'm going to ask you to write down a list of all the debts that you have and the interest rates that you're paying on each, because I want you to prioritise paying off the biggest interest rate first, even if it's a smaller balance, because that is where you're wasting most cash.
Yeah.
Kate's second tip is to prescribe the Todds a cash diet. Each week they must set a spending budget for food, entertainment and general household expenses. By withdrawing only the allotted amount of cash and ditching the credit cards, they'll keep track of how much they're spending by being able to see what's remaining in these pots. At the end of the week, any remaining cash will be added to a savings pot.
Doing something like the cash jars, it might seem old-fashioned, but it really works for me. And the thrill you get when you've actually got a savings jar full of cash cannot be beaten.
The Todds might now have a plan in place when it comes to being savvier with their cash, but they'll need some inspiration to help cook the cheaper homemade food that will save on spending.
You were spending an enormous amount, £315 on food, you know, a week.
Crazy.
Obviously, you saw Kate. What impact has that had then on your finances?
We've saved over £1,500, which is a ridiculous amount.
Saving in it.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you've managed to achieve.